Hello and welcome back to Statistics 1, section 6.3. We are going to now work with normally distributed variables, which means just word problems to apply calculations from our last section. So we talked about IQ in the first lesson, and now that we know ways to compute things, we can take a look at normally distributed IQ with 3 standard deviations to the right and 3 standard deviations to the left. Realize that the mean IQ, mu, is 100, and the standard deviation for it is, in some cases, 15, in others, 16. That's all due to change, as scientists always keep moving these things. So we can use this, right? Let's say you ran your IQ, it came up as, I don't know, 112, right? So IQ test equals 112. You want to know where you fit. So what do? Well, this 112 is the x value. And you use that in the formula, here it is in blood, z equals x minus mu over sigma. You've seen this formula in 3 different lectures so far. You use this normalizing formula to change your x into a z. And then you can use chart to find whatever you want. So z is equal to 112 minus the 100 divided by 15. This works out to be 12 over 15, which is 0.8, right? And now, for 0.8, when you draw the normally distributed curve with a 0, and then 1, 2, and 3, this value here is your 0.8 z-score, which is also equal to x equals 112 on the IQ scale. Now, question. Percent of people with lower IQ. Well, lower is to the left, right? Wouldn't you agree that? So, you are looking for the standard deviation for area to the left, and you straight up just look up 0.8 in the chart. So 0.8 is 7881. 0.7881, which means that 78.81% of people have the lower IQ than 112. Percent of people with higher IQ. Well, that will be area to the right, and we know just a way to compute that. So now we're looking area to the right, which would be 1 minus 0.7881, which is 0.2119. 21.19% of people have higher IQ than 112 in that case. So it's a very simple calculation, very simple concept. You have the x value, convert that to z, look up the z, and you will know the values. So let's take a look at the word problem for the homework. We have 10 minutes, so we're good. So all right, let's take a look at the height of female students. Height of female students. So, you know, some of you can relate. The heights of 3,264 female students attending the Midwestern College are approximately normally distributed with a mean, oh, by the way, this is 6.107. So with a mean of 64.4 inches and the standard deviation sigma of 2.4 inches. So the height were normally distributed, right? And the mean is 64.4 inches with a standard deviation of 2.4 inches. So find the percent of females, part A. Find the percent of female students between 62 and 63 inches in height. All right. The problem is clear. That's the worst normal curve I ever drew. 64 is the mean, 64.4. They want 62 and 63. So they want area between two curves. Now, these are x values. We know that our z-score chart is for z's. So we have to convert both of these values to z's and then do the magic, right, of area between two curves. So z1 is going to be 62 minus the mean of 64.4 divided by 2.4. And that's going to give us a number. So 62 minus 64.4 divided by 2.4 is -1. Z2 is 63 minus 64.4 divided by 2.4, which is negative 1.4 divided by 2.4. And we get negative 0.58 and then 33333. But remember, your z-scores are only 2 decimals, so, you know, writing 3's forever makes no sense. So area between two curves, we need a z-score, I mean area from z2 minus area from z1. So area from z2, that's negative 0.58. Negative 0.58. $28.10. Minus, and then we need a -1. -1. 1587. That gives us, when we subtract, so we do the stealing over here, so that's going to be a 3, and a 0 gives us a 2, and then 7, 5 gives us a 2, and then 2 minus 1, 1. So 12.8 23% of female students are between 62 and 63 inches tall. Writing this sentence answer to a word problem on the exam coming up is 2 points per each problem. That's a fifth of your grade, just writing the sentence at each problem, right? 10 problems times 2 points, that's 20. 20 out of 100, that's a fifth. So don't forget to write the sentence answers. Your answer in statistics is interpretation, which are words. And then the second question, B, is exactly the same. It just give you 65 and 70, so whatever. Let's take a look at one more example. How about the serum cholesterol levels? $698. According to the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey published by the National Center for Health Studies, the serum non-cellular portion of blood total cholesterol level for U.S. Females 20 years old or older is normally distributed with a mean of 206 milligrams per deciliter, and the standard deviation sigma of 44.7 milligrams per deciliter. Determine the percentage of U.S. females 20 years or older who have a serum cholesterol between 150 and 250. It's the same thing, but, right? So they're looking for percentage of females that are between 150 and 250. More of the same. We have a normally distributed curve. The middle is 206. They give us 250. And they give us 150. And they're looking for the area in there because the area in between is the area right between the two numbers. So again, Z1 is 150 minus 206 divided by 44.7. So that's negative 56 divided by 44.7. That gives us negative 1.25. Remember, z-score, 2 decimal places. Z2 is 250 minus 206 divided by 44.7. And this is 25. So this is a 44 divided by 44.7. This is roughly 1. .98, yes. Good effort.
Thank you.
So now the percent is going to be, well, area first. Area is going to be, we look at 0.98 on a positive chart. 0.98, that's 83.65. And then we subtract negative 125 from the left chart, 1056. That's a 9, that's a 0, that's a 3, that's a 7. So 73%. 73%, I mean 0.09, who cares? 73% of females have cholesterol between 150 and 250 milligrams per deciliter. And that is the answer you get to box, because that is the word problem, right? And answer is the sentence at the end that gives the answer to the question. All right. So that takes care of that, and that actually takes care of chapter 6. So we are done with chapters 4, 5, and 6. Next class, we'll do a few more examples to wrap up the chapter and pick the date so that we can have the possibly exam in the future. Ciao.